Welcome to our seminar for improving workplace communication. Did you know that less than 2% of people have had a formal education on active listening?
Chances are you're communicating ineffectively. Our training will lead to more productive and stress-free communication that allows for strong productivity.
And our credibility is that we are experts in business communication and have a combined 60 years of experience in management and HR.
We will show you how to achieve these goals and
improve the quality of workplace communication. Through clarity of word choice, active listening, and monitoring your reaction to criticism, you will be able to improve the quality of your communication to your employees.
If you never learn the skills of active communication, you will experience miscommunication, poor overall experience at work, a more stressful environment than it should be, and an overall low morale.
If you do learn these skills, however, you will be able to get your work done fast and effectively with little to no interference and conflict among employees. Okay, so we have 3 skills that are important to improving workplace communication.
first is not overreacting to criticism. Not overreacting to criticism is very important. Use self-talk to keep away from negativity and be more positive in the responses you get from others. Self-talk influences how you listen to others through self-concept, self-awareness, and self-esteem. These 3 things affect how you interpret and make sense of what you hear. Self-concept and self-esteem affect self-talk, while self-talk affects how you process information. What you bring to an encounter influences your ability to listen. There are 8 easy steps to having a sound listening plan. 1. Be mindful of your self-talk. 2. Mentally prepare to listen. 3. Concentrate and commit to listening. 4. Look like you're ready to listen. 5. Encourage the other person to talk. 6. Search actively for meanings. 7. Make an effort to keep listening actively. And lastly, 8. Suspend judgment. Next is clarity of word choice.
For clarity of word choice, you want to keep it simple. You want to use uncomplicated language to describe complex thoughts, short, concise phrases, help prevent information overload, and you want to pick vocabulary that's appropriate for your audience. Also, limit the use of jargon and acronyms. Only use jargons when your listeners are familiar with them. Too many acronyms and too many jargons can annoy receivers and prevent them from understanding the message.
A final way to be more clear in your word choice is be specific and clear. Avoid content-free language that is intended to be ambiguous. The quote to remember is, say what you mean and mean what you say.
And thirdly, the most important is active listening. You want to focus full concentration on the communicator and use body language to communicate openness and receptivity, and use facial expressions to communicate interest.
There's 3 main parts of active listening that we're going to focus on today. Body language, fidgeting, and maintaining eye contact. If you can master these 3 skills within active listening, you'll become a much better listener and participator in your workplace, and communication should increase dramatically.
Also, as a speaker, there are things that you can do to make the audience more interested, even if it is to one person or to a whole team. If you keep it simple and straight to the point, your audience would be more receptive and less prone to fidget, slouch, and roam the room with their eyes. To help stimulate others' interest in you, you can use verbal immediacy. Certain words and phrases can reduce the perceived physical and psychological distance between communicators. Also, using gestures to illustrate and emphasize what you are trying to communicate helps keep your audience intrigued. Improving communication in the workplace is both the speaker and audience's job.
Let's talk more about body language. Body language is very important to everybody around you, and for our training video, we're going to specifically focus on sitting up straight. Sitting up straight, walking with a purpose, and standing tall while pulling your shoulders back and your stomach in all communicate self-confidence and a particular attitude. Paying attention to how you carry yourself can improve the impression you make. Good posture can signal that you are self-assured, secure in who you are, and well prepared to face any challenge. Recent research reveals that good posture has a positive effect on us as well as others. Researchers discovered that people who were told to sit up straight were more likely to believe what they wrote about their qualifications for a job than those who slumped over at the desk. It's more important than you would think. Now we're going to focus on training for active listening. Using your body language is a very effective way to communicate in the workplace. First thing we're going to focus on is sitting up straight. Sitting up straight sends a lot of different signals to everyone around you.
Active listening training is important because it will help you be more receptive to people talking to you or giving a speech in the future. Today we are going to build on some skills that most people have trouble with, such as maintaining eye contact, good posture, and not fidgeting. By the end of the training, you should be more mindful of how each of these affect you, other audience members, and the speaker. First up is posture.
This is an example of how you should not sit when you're active listening. She is disinterested, slouched, on her phone, and leaning over. It gives a very negative response to the speaker, making it very difficult for the speaker to know that the audience is being receptive. This is an example of how you should sit when you're active listening. She is upright, has good posture, and has her head up. This gives a very positive response to the speaker, making the speaker know that the audience is taking in the information.
Now that we've showed you two examples of how to sit up straight and how not to sit up straight, we're going to give you a chance to sit up straight to a video we're going to show you. In this next video, sit up straight and listen actively to what's being presented.
My whole house is great. I can do anything good. I like my school. I like anything. I like my dad. I like my cousins. I like my aunts. I like my Allisons. I like my moms. I like my sisters. I like my dad. I like my I like my hair. I like my haircuts. I like my pajamas. I like my stuff. I like my rooms. I like my whole house. My whole house is great. I can do anything good. Yeah. I can do anything good. Better than anyone.
Fidgeting is a display of constant movements that disturb others. While it is essentially harmless, it has several unwanted side effects towards the speaker. Fidgeting makes you look nervous or even in some cases rude. It puts other people on edge, and when they see you picking things up or biting your nails, it distracts them from what they're doing and makes them wonder what you're about to do next. If you're absent-mindedly fiddling with things or picking at things, then you never know what kind of damage you can cause, breaking something or even hurting yourself when fidgeting. It's simply not good body language, and if you do it in important social situations, it can cost you that social interaction.
Fidgeting can be distracting to other audience members and to the speaker. It also distracts you and shows the speaker that he does not have your full attention. It also gives the speaker negative feedback. Now here's how fidgeting can be distracting and how not fidgeting can show your interest and not be distracting to you, the audience, or the speaker.
Fidgeting distracts not only the speaker, but everyone involved in the communication. Notice how she's tapping her pen, shaking her legs. All of these external movements divert attention away from the conversation and distracts the speaker. As a listener, you should avoid external movements that distract from the conversation. Remember the importance of posture, keep still, and attentive throughout the conversation.
Now that you've seen how people fidget whenever they listen to speakers and how you can fix that by just sitting still and being attentive, practice during this video.
People, you got air coming through your nose. You got heartbeat. That means it's time to do something. A poem. Two roads diverged in the woods, and I took the road less traveled. It hurt, man! Really bad. Rocks, thorns, and glass. My pants broke. Wah! Not cool, Robert Frost. But what if there really were two paths? I want to be in the one that leads to awesome. It's like that dude Journey said, don't stop believing, unless you dream stupid. Then you should get a better dream. I think that's how it goes. Get a better dream and keep going. Keep going, and keep going.
Now let's talk about maintaining eye contact with a speaker or person you want to communicate with. Making eye contact and using pleasant facial expressions are two of the most common nonverbal immediacy strategies. Smiling and looking directly at other communicators communicates friendliness and approachability. Conversely, frowning and looking away from your friends communicate disregard and avoidance. Which communicator would you rather initiate contact with? Someone who looks at you or someone who frowns and avoids eye contact?
So next up, we're going to show you the incorrect way and correct way to maintain eye contact with the speaker. Eye contact is an important part of actively listening. Here you see we have a person who is not maintaining eye contact with the speaker, and it shows that you aren't being receptive to what he is talking about. You're not really paying attention, and he can't know if and the speaker can't know if he's bringing his point across. And whenever you don't use eye contact, it can maybe throw off the speaker from what he is talking about. When you maintain eye contact, it shows that you're being receptive, and it shows that the speaker is bringing his point across and makes the speaker feel confident. And when you use eye contact, it doesn't distract the speaker from thinking maybe like, why is this guy not looking at me, and stuff like that. Now that you've seen the incorrect and correct way to maintain eye contact with a speaker, let's practice with this video.
It's funny the things you forget. I went to see my mother the other day, and she told me this story that I'd completely forgotten about, how when we were driving together, she would pull the car over, and by the time she had got out the car and gone round the car to let me out the car, I would have already got out the car and pretended to have died.
Now that we've given you an opportunity to practice 3 different ways of active listening, I hope this better prepares you for the workplace and just listening in general, making sure you're a better communicator with people, and hope your quality of life improves.
In conclusion, with these tools, you can go out into your work environment and be able to effectively communicate with your employees.
People who have taken our training program and implemented it have reported an increase of 40% with satisfaction with their work. We hope you got a lot from our seminar.
Thank you for listening actively. We hope you can use this information in your work environment to improve communication on every level and improve overall job satisfaction. Contact us at communicationprofessionals@gmail.com for more information.